If you've been adding extra protein to stay strong after 60, this may surprise you. Because one very common protein mistake could be quietly putting strain on aging kidneys. And most people doing it believe they're being healthy. You hear it everywhere now. Eat more protein. Build muscle. Prevent weakness. And it's true, as we age, protein becomes more important. Our muscles shrink faster. Recovery takes longer. Strength matters more than ever. But here's what most people don't realize. Your kidneys at 65 are not the same as they were at 35. They still work hard for you every day. Filtering waste. Balancing fluids. Keeping minerals steady. Quietly protecting your blood. But with age, kidney function naturally changes. It doesn't mean disease. It means sensitivity. And when we suddenly overload the system, even with something healthy, the body feels it. This is where things get serious. The mistake isn't eating protein. It's how much, how fast, and what kind. Let's slow this down and walk through it together. Protein is essential. It repairs tissue, maintains muscle, supports immunity, helps you heal. After 60, getting enough protein can help prevent frailty and falls. That part is real. But protein metabolism creates waste products. One of them is urea. Your kidneys filter that waste out of your bloodstream. The more protein you eat, the more work your kidneys must do. When you're younger, the kidneys usually adapt easily. When you're older, they may not adjust as smoothly. Here's the protein mistake many adults over 60 are making right now. They are dramatically increasing protein intake overnight. Adding protein powders. Drinking 2 or 3 shakes a day. Following high-protein diets designed for younger bodies. Without considering how their kidneys are handling it. This is not about fear. It's about balance. Your body thrives on balance. Here's what often happens. Someone reads that muscle loss accelerates after 60. They feel weaker getting out of chairs. Maybe they've had a minor fall. So they decide to fight back. They buy a large tub of protein powder. They double their portions of meat. Eggs at breakfast. Chicken at lunch. Steak at dinner. A shake before bed. On paper, it looks proactive. But inside, the kidneys are suddenly filtering much more nitrogen waste than they're used to. And here's what most people don't feel. Kidney strain rarely causes pain at first. There is no early alarm bell. Instead, there may be subtle clues. Feeling more fatigued than expected. Needing to urinate more at night. Swelling in ankles. Dry, itchy skin. Changes in appetite. Now, these symptoms can have many causes. We're not diagnosing anything here. But they are signals your body uses when something feels off. Let's talk about the second protein mistake. Relying heavily on processed protein sources. Protein bars. Flavored powders. Pre-made shakes. Processed deli meats. Many of these are loaded with sodium, artificial additives, and phosphorus preservatives. That extra sodium increases fluid retention. More fluid means more pressure inside blood vessels. That also means more work for kidneys. And phosphorus additives, commonly found in processed foods, are absorbed more aggressively than natural sources. Aging kidneys may struggle to regulate excess phosphorus efficiently. Here's where it becomes concerning. You may think you're supporting muscle, but unintentionally adding stress to both kidneys and blood pressure. But that's not the whole story. There's another protein pattern that can quietly strain aging kidneys. Eating most of your protein in one sitting. Large, heavy meat-centered dinners. 20, 30, even 40 grams of protein at once. When protein intake is spread evenly throughout the day, the body handles it more smoothly. When it's concentrated in one large meal, the filtering load spikes sharply. Imagine asking your kidneys to sprint instead of walk steadily. Over time, repeated spikes may matter. Now let's pause here. Does this mean older adults should avoid protein? Absolutely not. In fact, inadequate protein can lead to muscle loss, weakness, slower healing, and increased fall risk. But this is where nuance matters. The goal is not high protein. The goal is appropriate protein. And that depends on your body size, activity level, and overall health. Here's what most balanced recommendations suggest for many older adults: a moderate, steady intake spread across meals. Not extreme, not minimal. Steady. Another overlooked mistake? Ignoring hydration. Protein metabolism requires adequate fluid. When you increase protein without increasing water intake, kidneys must work harder in a relatively dehydrated environment. As we age, thirst sensation decreases. Many older adults are mildly dehydrated without realizing it. Add high protein to low hydration, and the strain increases. You might notice darker urine, dry mouth, fatigue. These are simple body signals. Now here's something even more important. Many adults over 60 have mild, undiagnosed reduction in kidney function. Not disease, just age-related change. It's common, often silent. If someone with reduced kidney reserve suddenly starts a high-protein diet, the extra load may accelerate strain. That's why trends designed for young athletes don't always translate safely to older bodies. But there's one more protein mistake that doesn't get enough attention: chasing muscle without resistance training. Protein alone does not build strength. If you increase protein significantly but remain sedentary, much of that excess simply becomes waste for kidneys to process. Muscle growth requires stimulus. Without movement, you're adding load without benefit. This is where things shift in a positive direction. Instead of asking, "How much protein can I add?" ask, "How can I use protein wisely?" Let's talk about smarter strategies. First, spread protein evenly through the day. A moderate portion at breakfast. Another at lunch. Another at dinner. Not overloaded at night. Second, prioritize whole food sources. Eggs, Greek yogurt, beans, lentils, fish, small portions of poultry, nuts. Whole foods bring fiber, potassium, magnesium, and other nutrients that support overall balance. Third, be cautious with processed protein supplements unless there's a clear need. They are not automatically harmful, but they are easy to overuse. Fourth, drink water consistently throughout the day unless you've been told to limit fluids. Small, regular sips. Keep urine pale yellow. Now let's address something important. Some people watching this may already have known kidney issues. Others may have high blood pressure or diabetes. Those conditions already place added stress on kidneys. In those situations, protein needs can be more individualized. That's why sudden diet extremes are rarely a good idea after 60. Slow adjustments are safer. Here's what most people don't realize. Kidneys don't just filter waste. They help regulate blood pressure. They balance electrolytes. They activate vitamin D. They affect bone health. Protecting kidneys protects more than one system. And the body gives us quiet warnings before major problems develop. Foamy urine. Persistent swelling. Ongoing fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. These are not reasons to panic. They're reasons to pay attention. Now let's bring this back to strength. Maintaining muscle after 60 is critical. Strong legs reduce fall risk. Strong core improves balance. Strong back supports posture. Protein plays a role in all of that. But strength comes from pairing moderate protein with resistance activity. Light dumbbells, resistance bands, bodyweight exercises, even chair squats and wall push-ups. When muscle is stimulated, protein is directed toward repair and growth more efficiently. Less waste. More benefit. That's efficiency. And efficiency is what aging bodies appreciate most. Here's another subtle point. Rapid weight loss diets that are very high in protein can increase uric acid levels in some individuals. That may contribute to joint discomfort in susceptible people. Again, not everyone. But aging systems tend to respond better to steady, moderate changes than aggressive ones. Let's talk numbers briefly, without getting technical. Many older adults do well with roughly 20 to 30 grams of protein per meal, depending on body size. That's often enough to stimulate muscle maintenance without overwhelming the system. But doubling or tripling that suddenly may not add benefit. More is not always better. Especially after 60. Your kidneys have been loyal workers for decades. They filter about 50 gallons of blood every single day. They deserve consideration. If you've recently increased protein and noticed subtle changes in how you feel, don't ignore them. Pause. Reflect. Adjust. Small reductions may ease strain without sacrificing strength. This isn't about cutting protein drastically. It's about respecting your body's current capacity. Here's a simple approach. Build your plate with balance. Half vegetables. A quarter protein. A quarter whole grains or starchy vegetables. Add healthy fats in moderation. That pattern supports muscle while easing pressure on kidneys. And remember this. Sleep matters. Blood pressure control matters. Blood sugar stability matters. All of these affect kidney health over time. No single nutrient works alone. The body is an ecosystem. Now imagine this. Two people, both 70 years old. One follows a trendy high-protein plan designed for bodybuilders. Large steaks nightly. 2 shakes daily. Minimal vegetables. Limited water. The other eats moderate portions of protein spread throughout the day. Walks daily. Uses light resistance bands 3 times per week. Drinks water consistently. Keeps blood pressure controlled. Which kidneys would you expect to feel less strain over the next 5 years? The difference isn't dramatic. It's steady. And steady wins after 60. If you're concerned about muscle loss, that's wise. If you're concerned about kidney strain, that's also wise. You don't have to choose between strength and safety. You just have to avoid extremes. Because here's the truth. Aging well isn't about pushing harder. It's about adjusting smarter. Your body at 65 is not weaker. It's different. It asks for rhythm instead of force. Moderation instead of overload. Consistency instead of intensity spikes. If this message resonates with you, you'll want to watch our next video about the early signs your kidneys may be asking for help. Knowing those subtle signals can give you years of advantage. Protect your strength. But protect your filters too. They've been protecting you your whole life. Alternative high CTR titles. Over 60? This protein habit could be hurting your kidneys. The hidden risk of high-protein diets after 60. Are you eating too much protein for your age? Thumbnail text idea. Too much protein?